Hello, this is George Fairbrother, and you're listening to the Bill Obbocast. Presented by Patrick Stratford, and brought to you in association with georgefairbrother.com, shop.saturdaymorningpress.co.uk, vanguardcomics.co.uk, gibconsultancy.co.uk, and mcr-seo.com.
My guest today on the Bill Obbocast is Bryony Kelly, who joins us today to celebrate her all-time favourite character from the Bill, the legend that is DS Alastair Greig. We count down the top 10 list of Greig-centric episodes, all chosen by Bryony. There will hopefully be some underrated gems that many of you won't have seen before. Hope you enjoy. Bryony Kelly, welcome to the Bill Obbocast.
Thank you.
So what I normally like to do with each of these is to ask, where did your experience with the Bill as a fan first begin? Like, when did you first discover the show?
I was early teens. I used to watch it a lot because my gran and grandpa used to watch it, and I was very, very close to my grandparents. We literally spent a load of childhood every time it was half term, holidays, whatever, we were down there, even though we'd moved up north. Every holiday we were down at my grandparents', so we're very close to them, and they were very, very keen on the Bill. And we happened to go to a pantomime in 95, 94, I think it was, of Beauty and the Beast. And it coincided that Andrew McIntosh was the Beast. And I did not know this because I was obviously early teens and still learning about it all. And when my gran told me, oh, he's in the Bill, I was like, oh, right, okay. And it was the funniest and the best pantomime I've ever been to. And it was from that I kind of showed a lot more of an interest in it, and I started to watch them far more frequently. I found the favourite ones, should we say, and started watching them a lot more regularly. But I started pinpointing the ones that had Greig in a lot more, obviously, because he was at the time my very favourite character. But yeah, I just found the whole scenario with the Bill very relatable. And it was funny, but it was true. And yeah, I got into it. And then it was one of those ones that you kind of just don't stop watching because it was just very, very enjoyable.
I mean, that's the sort of great thing about the Bill, particularly around the 90s, is that it's that variety of storylines that you get, that you maybe, as you said, you get your funny episodes, but
Yes.
you also get either your more dramatic episodes
Oh, yeah,
or like really like thriller episodes. Or I mean, that's, again, just the variety of it all.
totally agree. I mean, the ones that stand out for me were the comedic ones, but also some of the really serious ones really got you very sucked you involved, and you kind of wanted to find out the outcome to it as well. Sometimes they went into two-parters, sometimes they were just a long episode, but I found those just as good as the comedic ones.
We touched upon it there briefly. For your choice for the Obblecast, you've chosen to discuss the character of Detective Sergeant Alastair Greig. So again, I'd just like to hear a bit more about why in particular he's your favourite character and why you decided to wanted to talk about him today.
I think, as daft as it sounds, when I was an early teen, my gran came from Glasgow, and I always used to love the Scottish accent because it reminded me of my gran. And then coincidentally, I saw, obviously, Alastair on stage, found out he was a Scot, and at that time, it just so happened that I was a big fan of the Scottish accent, and also when I watched them, I found his character very calming, but at the same time, his sarcasm just had me in stitches. But he could also be incredibly serious as well. And him and his relationship with his colleagues, especially Susie, who he was mentoring, it was just so funny to watch. But at the same time, although they took the absolute mick out of him, he was such a good character, but he wanted to catch his man or woman or whatever. And he was determined, but he was very much, him and Burnside was like, you're nicked. I remember those very fondly, and obviously policing changed quite a bit over the years, but I just found his character a good one to watch. Yeah, I suppose you could say he was my favourite along the years.
And he's a very, I mean, I suppose since the Bill podcast has been very much a thing and there's been bringing light to all these other characters that
Yeah.
we maybe don't talk about as much. Would you say that even up till now that Greg is a very underrated character?
Very, yeah. I actually don't think he deserved the exit that he got. I think he should have had a better exit. And I do feel that the way that he was written out was very, very unfair.
You can unlock the Bill Obbocast, a new monthly spin-off series, on patreon.com/The Bill Podcast.